Hello, I'm John, the Warhammer Modeler, and welcome to another episode of my Hobby Roundup. So April hasn't been a busy month for hobby, but I have managed to finish a few projects that I've been working on for a while. So let's take a look at the first one. So here we have from Forge World the Masternautican siphoning delegation, which is one of the guilder groups that you can use within the game. And it's made up of the Masternautican, who we'll have a look at in a second, the Subnautican, and the siphonite. So let's have a look at the Masternautican first. So it's quite a nice model, this one. We can see he's got his water extraction or whatever kind of arms, his water tank on, his back. I decided to go with a yellow theme for the armour and a red theme for the tanks to tie these models together. It's quite a nice sinister model, this one, just with his pose and everything. I decided to use mainly inks for his clothes, so blues and things, just to get a kind of a different look to how I'd normally paint. I kept it quite simple with the metals, not using lots of different kind of varieties of colour, just to keep it nice and simple. This is a nice model as is, but I kind of painted it more just for gaming than anything else. So after the Masternautican, we have the Subnautican. I did start this in March, but finished it off finally this month. Again, you can see the yellow and red theme that I've got with this big guy. What I've also done with this one, which I've previously gone through, I've magnetised the head. So I can replace the big head with the smaller head, but I also converted an ogre head to go in there as well. So I've got the option of changing the head and changing the character. Really love this model. But for now, I've left it with the big Cyclops head. Just fits with the theme quite nicely. And then finally we have the siphonite. Quite an unusual model, this one. It's armed with a needle sniper rifle, and it bears the icon of this guilder group. Again, I stuck with a similar paint scheme, so yellow for the armour, red for the small water tank, and then I weathered the metal that the icon was made out of to look like it'd been wet and gained patina and that kind of thing. Again, a simple paint scheme with this. I went for more grey-brown kind of colour for the robes, just to denote that they're not high up as the ranking as the Masternautican. So I really enjoyed painting this set. It took quite a long time this month, just due to other commitments and so on. But I'm happy with the way they turned out. A great set of models from Forge World. If anyone's ever interested in this set, I think they're well worth it, even if it's just for conversions or just to put on the shelf. But I will hope to have a few games with these ones as well. The second thing that I worked on this month, if I bring this in, we can only see a small part of it. So what I'm going to need to do is open out the table here so we can see it bigger. So here we have the other model that I worked on this month. This is the Warhammer 40,000 Void Shield generator. This is the resin model that was released a few years ago. I've had it in a box for a long time, but I finally thought it's about time to get round to building it and painting it. If I just flip it over, you'll see it's made of the greeny grey resin that a few limited edition models were made of. So when I put this together, I deliberately wanted the cogs to still work. I've made sure they still turn, just to add a bit of character to the model. If we have a look at each of the sides, I started working on the base first. Again, a very simple paint scheme, just a few colours and metallics, and then using inks and a bit of dry brushing just to finish the look. So as we go around, we can see we've got one of the servitors. I made sure I painted all the different kind of lights and things just with a very limited palette. And then as we look on this side, again, some verdigris on the metal. And then the final servitor on this side here. On these top sections, I wanted them to look, rather than the kind of the lightning balls that are on the box of this one, I actually painted these up in more of a metallic finish with the verdigris as well. I kind of liked the idea more that inside these there's a lot of kind of electrical wires and things that are kind of making the energy come out. Then the icon on the top, again, same colour scheme with a bit of verdigris and things here and there. Really nice model, this one. I don't know why it took me so long to build it and put it together. It sits nicely in the display shelf, but also I can use it in games of Warhammer 40,000, but also it would make a really interesting piece for Necromunda, which is probably what I'm going to use it for more than anything else. So not lots of things done this month, but I did manage to finish everything that I've started, whether that's from previous months or fresh within this month. We'll see how much I can get done in May. Again, it's a busy time of year, so we'll see what I do, but it's always nice to do a little bit of hobby. So, for now, I'm John, the Warhammer Modeler. Stay safe.